Yes, guys, it's a unit 3.2.5. Actually, it's all about ethical hacking, and I do believe, guys, last time we already covered it, and we just went over like a definition about what is the ethical hacker is, and we were talking about 4 steps. So today, like in the our this session we are going to cover the first two, and later on in our next sections we are going to cover the last two. So let's see what we need to do and what are the steps. So the step number one is, so we need to scan the network. So we need to understand what is the typology is, and what kind of devices we have, how many devices we have, and for every single device we need to analyze how many ports are open and how many and services are working. So let me just go ahead. I will go and run it, and yeah, it's over here. Perfect. So I do believe, guys, we have a 52 minutes left to complete it, and I think that is good enough. So by saying that we need to scan a network, do you remember the tool we already learned? It was Nmap. So the Nmap is a tool that we are going to scan the network itself. So let me just go ahead and run it. And if you do not remember what is the Nmap stands for, you can just go ahead and watch the previous videos because we covered all of them in detail. And I think there is no need to explain it one more time. Perfect. So I'm running my Nmap right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm telling my Nmap that I want to scan my network, which is under 0.2.0.0 and slash 24. And I think we already discussed about why we are using a slash 24. Actually, at this point, you don't need to be worried about that one too. But the only thing is, let me just open my. Oops. So I want to explain you something. Do you remember, guys? We are working in the system. It's the same environment that we are going to analyze. It's a water treatment system. So we have 3 services. So right now I have a server 1, which is PLC, that is controlling my pump. So I have another PMC, another server that is my monitor. So I'm just generating my reports, and I have my another server which is a Windows server, and we have here PLTW. So from our home, we are connecting to that computer, and from this computer, we were able to connect to these computers as well. So each of them, they have an IP. It starts from the 0 at 10.2.0.5. So this IP was all of them all to the 6, and that was the 7, and this was the same IP which is ending with the 8. But if you see that IP is starting with the same numbers, it's a 10.2.0 and something else. So right now, what I will be telling my Nmap, I will say that, hey, can you go ahead and scan what is under these IPs? 0.0. So start from the 0 and go ahead and scan all of them, and let's see how many devices I have. So right now it looks like we have 4 devices only, but whenever I'm scanning that, you see I just put a 10.2.0.0, and right now I will tell that, can you make a quick scan? So if I just scan it, it will take about less than 1 minute, couple seconds only. Let's just wait a little bit, and it is going to generate a huge report for us. So yes, perfect. Now it says that, let me just look at here. So right now it says that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 computers, but here I have 4 computers only. That means we have 3 more devices which was not in our typology yet, but they are exist. I mean, like, they are running, which is good to know. And for instance, today we are going to analyze the first one, which is the 10.2.0.5, which is PLC. And I do believe, guys, you remember what is the PLC stands for. And that is my Linux server. And that server is analyzing my, like, controlling my pumps in my system. So if I select my, let me just go up a little bit. If I select my 10.2.5, I can see that out of 100 ports, 9 ports are open. Oh, FTP port is open, SSH port is open, HTTP port is open as well, and rest of them. We didn't cover them yet, but I do believe you remember what is the FTTP stands for, what is the SSH stands for, and what's the HTTP. Don't worry about the details yet, guys. We are going to analyze them later on. It's a little bit... but just keep in mind that, let me just bring it back, oops. Just keep in mind that what is the HTTP stands for, whenever we have two devices, imagine I have a computer 1 and computer 2, whenever we talk about device, you just think about that is a simple computer, or it's my server, or it's just two devices connected to each other. And whenever we say that we have HTTP connection between them, FTP, I'm sorry, yes, FTP. That means they have special ports and they can transfer files from one location to another location. And of course, if you establish HTTP or if you establish SSH ports as well, they have a different ways to transfer files, but that one is one of the most common connections being used to transfer files only. Okay, so I'm transferring a file here and receiving at the same time, which is absolutely fine. So let me just go to the topology. You see that we have a topology over here, and I can see how they are connected. Do you remember that in Unit 2 we were discussing that what kind of connections we have? We might have a connections like so for example, I have a one line, so all computers will be connected to one line. It looks like that one. And my last computer, I'm just putting 4, but you can imagine that it's a 400 or 40 computers, and all of them are connected to the server. So that is one of the ways to connect that. So another topology is we have one server in between, and rest of the computers are connected here. That is the most common topology used right now. Even in our school or any other organizations, they are using these topologies. So right now we have an internet which is coming from outside. We have only one line, and it goes to our server, and from this server it is distributing to the different clients. So for instance, in our school, so this internet is being distributed to teachers and to the students. What we have a group of students over here. So for instance, we are talking about computer lab. So one of the lines will be just provided here, and they will be having the switch over here. And from this switch, we are distributing the internet in that way. So that is another way, like another type of topologies. So here it looks like we have that type, which is all computers are connected. Let me get my control, and I will say that, let me put a fish eye a little bit bigger. Let me just slice it. My resolution is so small, so that's why it's all in ones. I can yes, perfect. So it looks like I'm using these topologies. Don't worry about the colors yet. Some of them, they have a different colors. Some of them, they have a different signs here. So it's a little bit in details, but the only thing, just keep in mind that, guys, we are using these topologies in our network, because whenever you're doing the ethical hacking, it's good to know what kind of infrastructure you have in that unit, in that organization. So all of them are connected to the same unit. So for instance, that is a server. So this server is connected here, this server is connected here. This may be a computer, or that can be just a device. So you see, so we are using 10.2.10.205. So this is our PLC server, which is a Linux server, and that connected here. Perfect. So that is the number one. So do you remember that it was telling us we need to find out, identify the network structure, host and host configurations. So right now we know what is the network structure looks like. We know how many hosts they have. So how many ports are open, how many, let me just show it one more time. And from here, from the output, from the hotspot, so if I select my PLC server, I can see how many ports are open and which are running. So that is good to know. So what is next? Let me just minimize it. I will not close it because I need that being running right now. Now we are going to learn some new tool. So Nmap tool is used to analyze overall structure of the network and how many ports are open. So right now, the tool that we are going to use, the next one, we are going to target one server only, and we are going to scan what is being running here. So what kind of different attacks might be in a particular network. So and let me just go ahead and I will explain what I'm. So right now we are doing the step number one. We actually done with the step number one now, and we are diving number two, scanning. So right now we are doing this scanning. So we are going to discover a software and a host. Okay. So the tool that we are going to use is a Nessus tool. If you want it, guys, you can just go ahead and Google it. It's one of the powerful tools that is going to help us to scan every single port in that machine, and it will find out what kind of vulnerabilities they are available. So since it's running right now, what I want to do is I will just stop it and run it again. And let me just do it. Let me show you how to do it. I need to do it from the PowerShell. Now, what I will say that I will say net stop. Let me just say that tenable Nessus. So right now I'm telling my shell, hey, can you go ahead and stop that service? So it says that it's successful stopped. Okay, now I need to restart it. What I will say that the same, but instead of stop, I will say start. Start tenable Nessus. Click the finger, cross the fingers. Now let's see. Perfect. Now it started successfully. Perfect. That is, we just restarted. And in order to run it, what I can do is if you go to your start, let me just click it. It's so slow. Here, if you go a little bit down, you see there is a folder. It says a Tenable Network Security. If you click on that one, there is an application, and that application is running on the browser, and it's a local. So actually, it's installed, but the user interface is on the browser itself. Now it will give us a little bit errors because it says it's not secured at this point, but don't worry, guys. So, oh yes, it's opened. It's open. But maybe in your cases, guys, it will give you this error. Don't worry about that one. Just go to the advanced and you can just proceed it anyway. So just click these two buttons, guys, and it will be working. Perfect. So our usernames, it's admin and password. So let me just go ahead and type it and we will see what we have. Admin and passwords. So perfect, guys, we are running our Nessus application. What I like in Nessus application is it has a lot of GUI, it's a graphic user interface, it's easy to see, it's easy to read it. So there is no scripting, guys, it's all about clicking because it is going to analyze, it is going to scan and the machine that we are going to provide. And right now we are going to scan the PLC server. And it is going to generate very detailed report, and we are going to analyze that. So that is the user interface. What I need to do is I need to create my session now, because imagine that you are working in the company and you have a different environment to work with. And for instance, I was talking to one of my friends, he's working in American Airlines, and they have different locations. So in East Coast, in the West Coast, or especially for the different states. And every single state, they have their own local organizations. Network. So what you can do is you can create different sessions for each of them. So if you just make one session and you will scan entire company like American Airlines all the way around the United States, it will take forever. So it's easy to break them down. So right now, what I will say that, hey, I want to make a new scan. Okay. And guys, you see there is a lot of tools, and it is helping us what kind of scan we can do. So let me just explain here visually just a little bit, and after that we will dive. So the Nessus tells us, oops, it's a little bit delaying, guys. I'm not sure why it's doing so. So the Nessus tell that just give me a name of the machine that you want to scan. Just give me IP address and I will scan. What is the scan mean? So we already know how many ports are open because from the Nmap, we already analyze it. So for example, I have a PLC and I know my 9 ports are open. Is it right? So right now, what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and test them. So I have a port number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one by one, I will send my signals. I will go ahead and test that. And I will see how secure they are. Actually, Nessus, if you are working as ethical hacking, so it is good to have this tool, because whenever you go ahead and analyze, let's imagine that port has some weakness, it has some vulnerabilities, so you need to go ahead and maintain them. Or what you need to do is you need to replace it, you need to upgrade it. Maybe you need to install a different software or application here. Do you remember that in our previous sessions we were talking about some ports, they are physically available? If you look in the behind of the computers, you will see some ports, you can plug something. But some ports, they are not physically, so they are inside the computer, they are just like application. And they have a versions, they need to be updated somehow, because we have a lot of attacks coming out. So if you're in that position, it's good to know. But what if we have a bad guy here and he is using the Nessus? So he will be seeing that this port has a little bit of weakness, so which is good sign for him, and he can just using this port and he can just go inside your server. So we need to behave as ethical hackers, we need to behave proactive, just go ahead and find those weaknesses and fix them, and we will show you how we're going to fix it. So that is number one. What is the number two is says that why the Nessus is so popular right now. The Nessus says that I can use a different plugins. So there's different organizations or different people, they are making small applications for the Nessus. So the Nessus says that I'm open source, that is absolutely fine, make your applications and I will run it. So right now we as a user will just log in and we will say that, hey, I want to use this application and I want to test my my server. Okay, so using the Nessus environment, they have built-in plugins, and plus they have some external plugins, and they have a lot, guys. And it's keep improving because the technology is growing so fast. And these guys, they are building different applications for the Nessus, and we are, as ethical hackers, we are going to pick one of these apps, and we are going to go ahead and analyze our server, which is perfect. So what I'm going to do is, let me just reconnect. What I'm going to do is I just made a new session and I want to make advanced scan. You see, so we have a different categories. We will not cover every single of them, but just keep in mind they are here. And also you can use and see what you can do with them. So what I can do is I will go with advanced now. And now I need to create my session, because I'm telling my session Nessus, hey, I want to make my session, and using this session I want to start scanning my system. So what you need to do is, as a PLTW says that, what you need to put your name and advanced scan. So let me just do it here. I will put my name, guys, but you need to put your name. I will say this is my name and advanced scan. What else it's asking? Advanced scan 1, because we are going to make a couple scans. So on the description, we will put a PAM PLC advanced scan. So PAM, one more time. Let me put on my second screen. So I'm just doing whatever it says here, okay? Because PAM PLC advanced scan. And after that, that is going to be my scan, because we need to select from the folders. We need to select my scan. And what is my target? My target is that machine, which is 10.2.0.5. So here I will type 10.2.0.5. So right now I'm telling my Nessus, hey, I want to scan this machine. I'm not that done yet, guys. Do not hit the save yet, because we need to do some other modifications. I need to go to the report and say the override with yes checked. So let me just put it here. I will go to my report and I need to make this check, because later on we are going to analyze this report just in a second. And I need to go to the advanced and enable. So it should be unchecked. Save checks. So I will go to enable. No, unchecked. Okay, and the rest of them I need to save. So perfect. So my session is ready. You see, so I made my configurations, what kind of scan I want to do on that machine. And by saying that machine is a PLC, which is 10205. And right now, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and start it. So I'm just going here and I will say go to the more and launch now. Perfect. So right now, what it is doing that it is started analyzing my server. It will take a little bit of time, guys, maybe 2-3 minutes because right now we have 9 ports and it's just analyzing every single port one by one. So imagine that it gets one port and it keeps sending different messages. By saying messages is a little bit technical, so it sends different IPs, it sends different packets. It's just testing what kind of the weakness that port has. Okay. So it's a scanning, but you also can go ahead and analyze that. It says that right now it was scanned 8 of them. Let me just go here, and all of them are safe. It's pretty good right now. So total it scanned 12 of 8 of them. Yes, perfect. So let's see what is going to be just in a second. It looks like it's still working, which is absolutely fine. But it says right now, yes, we have the second one. And what is the name of that? It's a Pro FTPD. Oh, the Pro FTPD is a part of the FTP connection. So do you remember that just in a second, like a few seconds ago, we were talking about the FTP connection. So we have a port here and I have a port here, and we are going to establish the FTP connection. And in order to run this FTP connection, we have some application, we have some softwares, and this software is a little bit weakness. You see, so right now the ethical hacker, they just analyze it and they found what is going to do. So right now it's time to take action. It's time to do something. And what we need to do is, let me just go ahead and analyze it. It says the port 21. I think we already know what port 21 is, and we did in activity 322 and 323. We work it in the FTP a lot. So when it was published in 2015. Last modification it was 2018. And what is the solutions to upgrade? So we need to just upgrade the version. So the current version is at 135 and we need to just change it to 136. Okay. And if we update it and if we scan it one more time, and we do hope it will not be in the red color anymore. So it is going to be secured.